J-Bob, the video game slob, coming back at you, as you can see, from a very rainy morning here. The first day of 4 straight days of going out.
Glad the rain held off this morning.
All right, leaving, dropping off my friend. Gonna go out and do some more picking. The weather's turned up, still pretty wet out. We got a few video games. We'll try to get you some footage of what's in the trunk here shortly. All right, we had to stop back home here real quick. This is pretty much full here in the back. Well, not pretty much full, but decently packed up. Then we'll hit some more subdivisions before we call it a day. Not really too sure, but for $10, I get, what, 5 figures here. WWE pay-per-view headquarters from 2015. And obviously, like, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, pretty good characters, I feel like. So, I don't know. Hopefully something decent there. This was really cool. True flat standard definition TV. There you go, 20 flat screen. RCA, decent brand. And yeah, definitely needs some cleaning. But we got component down there, which is, you know, great usually, so that's pretty good news. We got the Just Cause 3 special edition. Had the game in there. $10 there. Probably a little heavy on this. Oops, I gotta zoom into that. Should have had this ready. But we paid 70 bones for a Nintendo Switch. Inside it was, oh God, what was that? Family Feud. Jeez, this is why we're J-Bob, the video game slob. Case is obviously pretty wrecked, and then it had no charger. It just, oh wait, hold on, wait, late breaking news. Oh, we got a Mario Kart. Okay, well then there we go. No charger, but we had those. I didn't even see the Mario Kart. That's kind of a bonus. And then the Game Boy case, which these are cool. I have a couple of them. I don't mind letting that go. But the games in it weren't anything too great. Tiny Toons, Pac-Man, and Looney Tunes Alert. So all that for $70. And nothing crazy. Remote for the TV. And so all these games were $25 total. You know, Jedi Fallen Order is nothing great, but Bendy's decent. It's GameStop exclusive. Spyro, always kind of handy to have. Again, nobody's buying any of this stuff at the moment, but Prey, Far Cry 4, nothing crazy yet. The Bioshock collection, lots of fun. Uncharted collection, lots of fun. Dishonored 2, no value there, though, unfortunately. Yeah, this was $2 because that was somebody else's, so I had to pay them too, but whatever. It's a UFC game, $2. Dying Light. The Ghostbusters game was fun, though. Tomb Raider, you know, 20th Anniversary Edition. And then the Skyrim Special Edition. So for $25, I don't know what that is per game. You know, nothing too crazy. Anyway, I don't know, $4, $3 a game maybe. A bunch of wrestling magazines, which I picked up some last time. I think I showed those off on the channel. Still haven't sold any of that. So naturally, you had to double down on that. Can't remember if I said, but the TV was $15. I don't know. Came with the 2007 calendars, and then some quarter movies here. We got The Grinch. We got Hulk Hogan's Greatest Matches. Little Boris Karloff. Here was a fun one I don't think I'd ever seen before. John Candy in Volunteers. Fraggle Rock, always fun. And again, one that I hadn't seen before in terms of the Dr. Seuss library, Butter Battle book. So there you go. There's some stuff to wet your whistle. Let's hit the road again, see what else we can find. Well, let's hope it gets better than this. There aren't even that many sales, and what is here is just insane and overpriced and full of old people stuff. So moving on from this neighborhood fairly quickly. Holy cow, this is painful here. This neighborhood had maybe like, I don't know, 12 more things in it. So far, all we've gotten is a scrap oxygen tank and a free bin 5-disc CD changer. Let's hope it gets better. All right, well, you know what they say. In poker, if you call for the cards, you just may get them. And so complaining about stuff just may have worked. Really, you know, for an hour's worth of like driving around and picking stuff, you know, what are you in? $10 in gas or something like that. Not the end of the world. So, you know, did that net us? Did we win? Did we do better than that? It turned around a little bit. Picked up a Goosebumps for 50 cents. We picked up an E-Series 360 there with the 500 gigabyte hard drive, no HDMI cable, and this controller is going to need sticks replaced. No big deal. I mean, I think I bought those when they were 10, 11 cents a piece, but that's held on with tape, and so that's going to need a new one of those. So yeah, it was $30 and then $11 for all the games. So we got that. We got a little Myles Garrett number 95 jersey XL for $10. You know, looks pretty good. We're happy about that. We got the remote with our 5-disc CD changer for free $99, so that was pretty good. The trick is, can we sell it for any money? I don't know. We paid $5 for the Vader Boba Fett. Let's see if it shows up. 1980 Empire Strikes Back. So that's what it was. Again, this was the first of the, I was getting fairly desperate. Let's just buy anything. 50 cents for the Inkling and a trio of $2 Mario DVDs. Not what I would like to pay, but I put $5 on them, so it'll be fine. Some $2, see, proof, picks or it didn't happen. Little pickup of DS games. Again, nothing in there really worth anything. Tangled might go for $8. Everything else we'll just put, you know, $5 on. This got left in the back seat from last time. That was our quarter Space Invaders TV handheld, and it's so light, I know that there is no batteries in it. We got an oxygen tank. What am I going to do with an oxygen tank? I don't know. It was at a free bin. I was getting super desperate there to start. But let's close out the video with what you came here to see. Games, right? Ghost Recon 2, not the most exciting. FIFA Soccer, again, these aren't the craziest games, but the 007s are starting to sell. So what are you going to do? Besides, the weather was nice, so it's actually getting kind of warm. Wasn't the worst day to just go out and have some fun. We got the 360 Madden Collector's Edition. Again, one time that was a pretty great thing. Condemned, finally getting a little value, but nowhere near where it should. So these always get hoarded from me. I'm waiting for it to go up, be, you know, $40 game, something like that. We got the Batman Arkham City, great game. And the Halo Reach, of course. We hoard all the Halos from the 360, so that'll be no different. We got the Xbox Live Arcade Sega Superstars Tennis, and I always talk about the Xbox Live Arcade part, but do yourself a favor, play the Sega Superstars Tennis. It's still pretty good. This one used to be worth like $10. It's fantastic. Play it. It's just a lot of fun. Nothing much to complain about there. Who cares about this? But here's a basketball game people want, so there you go. That was fairly decent. Nobody wants any sports games, but if you have to pick any up, you'd like to have it on GameCube. Then just another soccer game. So, again, nothing crazy. But, you know, we'll make a few bucks. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I forgot the crazy thing. I was going to do the wrap-up, so we'll make a few bucks. You know, the day won't be wasted, but we spent $20. And this is the X Factor. This could be really good or really terrible. But it says rares. You look at it here. The lady had no idea what any of this stuff meant. But yeah, it's in the M20 era, 20, I think I saw like, I don't know, 2021, yeah, 2019 on these. I was trying to think. I'm so bad with the set symbols. I played back from 4th edition to the Urza's block, and then briefly played some of the Magic Arena stuff back when that came on the phone. But I think some of this was the, God, I wish I could come up with it, the Lord of the Rings set. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I saw some of the Lord of the Rings ones, and then I saw, I think, a Godzilla card or something in here somewhere too. So I have no idea. You know, I'd really have to like go on TCG Player, pull the app up, grab it out. I don't know if all of these are going to just be bulk. If this person had any clue what they were doing, those all seem to have the same set symbol. So maybe they're arranged by set, and I've just made a massive mess of this, although it also seemed to be arranged by color. Some foils. I swear I saw other set symbols, but right now that's all I'm seeing. I did see a lot of dragons. when I was looking at it earlier. So who knows? I'm just so out of the game and out of the meta. But there's foils, foil rares, all this kind of stuff. Hopefully some of that pays off and is worth 20 bucks. I figured as being rares and foils, I could just kind of put little lots together and sell it that way and at least get 20 bucks. Figured there was no downside risk, only upside. So who knows? Let me know. I'll dig through it, and if I find some more great hits, I'll make another video, something like that. So closes out the day. Thanks for coming along and hunting with J Bob, the Video Games Lab. All right, we are back, and I said I would bring you, if there were any good Magic cards, and those are just the empties there, that we would show them off. So I still got to go through this pile, still got to go through this pile. These are really cool. I don't know if they'll go for anything. If you're not familiar with Magic the Gathering, they ran a Dungeons and Dragons set, and these look like the old Dungeons and Dragons manuals. So if you see those out in the wild, pick them up, and if you see the cards, probably pick them up too, because they're super sweet looking cards there. So we got those, and that was pretty cool. And we still got a pile of lands. We need to look through. Lands often have a couple dollars value. Here's some just random cards that weren't with any other colors, so we got to figure that out. But we do have a $1, $2, $3, and $4 pile here. And then I put a pile of things that I thought were kind of like staples or just sort of half important. Den of the Bugbear, Vorpal Sword, Dual Caster Mage. Classification's such a great card because it gives you +20, +20. And again, if you're not a Magic player, 20 is your starting life total, so that's pretty cool. And it's a giant cat, so that's kind of great. Some classics, Sedgemoor Witch, some of these full art cards, Skyclave, more Vorpals, more Skyclaves. Elspeth, Who Conquers Death. That's a fun card. This was the Baby Godzilla that I saw when I opened the box, and I was like, all right, $20 box, I'll grab it. That's an uncommon, but apparently still worth $1. A lot of these class cards came out of that Dungeons & Dragons set, and people tend to like them, so those are in there. Felidar Retreat was really big at one time, and again, they do some really cool treatments with the cards to give you some nice alternative arts. Angel of Serenity, another Den of the Bugbear, that kind of a thing. Nope, don't want the pile to get all intertwined. Orb of Dragonkind, Lotus Cobra, still very popular. Scoot Storm, super popular. You gotta do the multiplication thing. Angels, Heliod's Intervention there. A nice Knight of the White Orchid. A couple Flumps, just kind of fun. Again, you're starting to see some of those lands. A Strixhaven card called Double Major. Anything you're kind of copying or repeating or doubling always tends to be popular with players. Unfortunately, from this era, a lot of the cards were printed quite a bit. But, you got full art, dual-sided lands, full art dragons, Guardian of Faith a couple times over there. Again, you're seeing more lands. Sterling Grove, Blade Historian, a nice storybook treatment there to Welcoming Vampire. So there we go. All those. The one $4 card, Bishop of Wings. And then we got, let's see, I guess we'll go in this direction. These were $5 from what I saw. Ruinous Ultimatum. We'll just set them down over there. Eben Death. Arcane Denial, nice full art, but common. Underworld Breach, which I think sees some play from everything I've seen. And then Maddening Cacophony. Again, I don't know a ton about Magic, so don't quote me on all this. But I do watch MTG Goldfish from time to time. Just a fun channel that presents Magic in kind of a fun way. Again, more of these fighter classes. And something called Ancient Green Warden. Again, a $7 range. I am not an expert, so I gotta look a lot of these up. Because, yeah, I've heard of some of those, but others I would just have no idea about. And here's some more, like Akroma's Will. I'm fairly familiar with. So I had a sense that that might be worth something, but then 3 copies of Teleportation Circle, exile up to 1 target artifact or creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its control. So kind of a blink effect. Again, I generally know blink effects are powerful, and people tend to like them. But then we have these triomes here for 19. A triome is a land that taps for 3 different types of mana, and of course dual lands were really big back in the day, so that was expensive. Opposition Agent market price was 23, and then Archangel of Thune, I guess for 53. We'll take the price tag off and show her off. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 on each creature, so you can see why that stacks and is fairly powerful. But yeah, I just use TCG Player. I look at market price. You can get the app. The app will scan the cards for you. I'm no expert at this. And again, just because those are the values and there's a giant pile of $1 cards, that does not mean I'm going to get $1 out of any of those cards. Like, if somebody offered me 60 cents or 50 cents and just bought them all, I would gladly take it. Kind of same across the board. So, again, I'm only in this $20, so I'm hoping I should at least clear $20 fairly easily. It's my buddy's birthday. We're going to go down to the video game store, the card store, go hang out with him, try to sell some of these cards, and, see if we can't get him a nice present, maybe a nice little meal, maybe a good beer, something like that. So, YouTube, thanks for coming along with me. If you know something about any of the rest of these cards in here, let me know. Otherwise, we got to find a way to sell a bunch of bulk rares. Oh, there's a whole bunch of bulk rares off camera up here, too, sitting on that Nintendo. But we got a lot of stuff to do. We'll get to it. YouTube, J-Bob, the Video Game Slob, wishing you a happy Angel of Thune.